The good guys love.
We are back live. It is December 9th, 2008. General Hamid Gul, one of the most famous members of and commanders of Pakistani intelligence, who worked with the United States in the whole operation against the Russians, was the commander of those operations, is our guest with us graciously until 40 after. General, not wasting any more time, I listed earlier the fact that Indian intelligence captains in the Army have been caught in India staging bombings. That's Indian news. That Indian intelligence and police have been caught giving cell phones to the supposed shooters. The police stood down, and only the anti-terror commanders that had said that India was staging terror, they were killed in the initiation of the attacks in Mumbai. That's some of the evidence of Mumbai being an inside job. Namely, why do you believe Mumbai is a staged event 2 weeks ago, A, and B, what is the motive?
Well, the motive is very simple, that Americans want Indians to come on board with them in their war against terror, especially when they have run out of troops in Afghanistan. The NATO allies are pulling out. They are dragging their feet. They are not prepared to fight there, but they want to make it an Indian cause, and they want nearly 150,000 troops in Afghanistan. That is one reason where there is an American motive. There is an Israel motive, which is similar, that the Americans should not pull out of Afghanistan just because they are short of troops, so they must have more troops there, because if they go away without denuclearizing Pakistan, state of Israel will remain under perpetual danger. So they have an innate fear that Americans may lose heart and pull out of this region. They are already going out of Iraq, and if they were to go out of Afghanistan as well, this will be an unfinished agenda, and that Israel would be at the losing end. So the neocons and the Zionists, they together want to hatch a conspiracy so that Obama gets trapped into a situation where for next 4 years he'll keep on sorting out this imbroglio. As far as the ability is concerned, which is the other element, can you imagine that people traveling from Karachi in two rickety boats, they can travel all the way to Bombay and then go into action immediately and fight a battle for 72 hours, and there are just 10 of them, and in each group there were two. This is impossible. They were carrying so much of munitions with them, and that munition lasted. They were fighting virtually the crack troops of the Indian Army for so long. And you know that in Narima House, the 5 Jewish hostages, they were killed by the Indian commandos. They were not killed by these people. So why would the Indian commandos kill them? And Israelis suppressed this information. It initially came out in one of the Israeli dailies, but then it was suppressed. So if you go by the record of the Indian accusations against Pakistan, in the past, in year 2001, on December 13, there was an attack on the Indian Lok Sabha, and they blamed Pakistan and Lashkar-e-Taiba for it, but it turned out that these were Indian Kashmiris themselves. And because India is committing so much of atrocities in Kashmir, therefore there is a good reason for them that they would carry out something like that. Then again in 2006, there was this Samjhauta Express case in which 68 passengers, mostly Pakistanis, were killed, and this train was stopped at an obscure railway station in Haryana, and then doors were locked and the train was set on fire. And again this was claimed that it was Pakistani Lashkar-e-Taiba, and that they had done it because they wanted to derail the peace process. But now Colonel Sirikant Prohit has been caught in it, and there are other Indian officers who are his accomplices, and he has a big network. They took the RDX from Deolali depot, which is a military depot. So one can say that there is a deep penetration of the militant Hindus in military and intelligence organization in India. So in this case, why would they not do that? Because they want to again derail this process. And when Obama says that he will mediate on Kashmir and there is a Kashmiri political movement picking up momentum. And in this situation, he said that he would send Bill Clinton as the mediator. Obviously, the militants in India do not want this to happen, and they had to preempt it. So Pakistan doesn't gain, the Pakistani ISI doesn't gain anything from it. The net beneficiary is either the militant Hindus...
Stay there, sir. We have to break. We have to break, General.
...on their next election.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a rare interview, extremely enlightening. We're talking to the former head of Pakistani intelligence, the ISI. I want to thank Paul Watson, who we've got on the line, who's going to pop in with a question or two. I want to thank Simon over in the UK for getting us this number, and I want to thank Aaron for staying up late last night to get the producing job done to get this interview right here on the GCN radio network. General, continuing with motive, I have the headline here: Pakistan asserts hoax war call was real. Press minister fingers India High Commission as source of reports that threatening cell call was fake. As you know, this is in most of the major Pakistani papers. The government has the caller ID and the phone records that the threatening call saying that India was going to attack within minutes of the terrorist attacks beginning in Mumbai a few weeks ago, this provocative call within minutes saying India was going to attack Pakistan, attempting to get Pakistan, I guess, to move troops to the border and have a conflict. And the media is saying that a possible war between the two thermonuclear powers was narrowly averted. Can you speak to that?
Yes, indeed. I think the Americans and the Indians both have been very responsible about it, because Condoleezza Rice's statement in India, when she went and visited Delhi, they were very threatening towards Pakistan, and it was sort of a dictation that you have to satisfy India. Now, this is amazing that Pakistan had to satisfy India. On what score? Indians have still to come out with the evidence. And as far as this one man that they have caught, who knows that this is not a bogey and that this man was loitering around somewhere. There are lots of Pakistanis who cross the border illegally or legally, and he could have been picked up, and he's become the front man for singing all those stories. So one doesn't really know. It's too early to start threatening war against Pakistan, because Pakistan is a nuclear country, and if they brandish their power, conventional power, then I can assure you that as a soldier I will say that a conventional war, limited war within the nuclear environment is not possible in the subcontinent. And if it comes to exchange of nuclear weapons, then this becomes a third world war. China cannot stay out. Russia will not stay out. Russia is already showing its belligerence towards America and Europe. And China, of course, is a very major economic power. They are a nuclear power, and if this thing happens in their backyard, they will not accept it. So this is a very dangerous situation. I think it's playing with the fire. So the whole thing is could get out of hand. It is, again, as I told you, that the part of the unfinished agenda that neocons had in their mind, and they think that now Obama will carry it out, even though the Americans want a change. But let's look at what change means. Obama has not very clearly enunciated what change would be, but one can assume that change means focusing on the domestic issues. There is an economic meltdown, the car industry is going sick, and many other things are happening inside America, the social welfare and the Medicare, etc. So in all these things, there is a need for the new administration to focus entirely on the domestic issues.
Well, General,
and for that it will have to disengage externally.
General, as you know, in the last 3 months before Obama was even elected, he said Pakistan and Afghanistan would be his main focus. The strikes inside Pakistan, it's clear that his change means what Zbigniew Brzezinski wants, shifting what the Rand Corporation has said they want, shifting the war out of the Middle East into Central Asia. So